Today we are talking with author, sacred artist, and earth mystic Joanna Powell Colbert. Joanna, what word of advice do you have for becoming a tarot master?
Don't become a tarot fundamentalist. So don't become so attached to your own versions and interpretations of the cards that you become very narrow and rigid. Always be learning from other people, be humble, always be open, and especially listen to brand new beginners who I have found often come up with the most brilliant insights. And then they'll say, is that right? Can that be right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's just amazing. You know, can I share that and give you credit? So I think that's the most important thing for me. And I have a funny story about that. So years ago, when I was creating the Gaian Tarot, and I kept a blog at that time, and I posted every new card that I created, and then people would come on and leave comments. And in my tower card for the Gaian Tarot is lightning, and it shows lightning hitting a tree. And someone came on and left a comment that I had gotten it all wrong because there had to be a man-made tower in the tower card. And so I had gotten it wrong and I needed to change it. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Thank you for your input. I didn't change it. I wasn't about to change it because it was a nature-based deck, and it was appropriate within the context of the deck to leave it as a tree and not a man-made tower. And then one of the things that I really loved was years later when the deck was out in the world and I was learning about the deck from other people. And one woman said to me that she lived in the desert, and when lightning strikes the land in the desert, it fixes nitrogen into the soil, into the sand and the land, and then the desert greens. And so I was just like blown away by that as a metaphor for when these really traumatic events suddenly happen in our lives. They are often the things that also bring us the most fertility. After we get through the trauma, the change happens, and that's, you know, the star card follows the tower. And so I actually worked that into the Schiffer edition of the book. I was so impressed with that idea of lightning causing the desert to green, and what a beautiful metaphor that is for our lives. So if I had been a tarot fundamentalist, I never would have been open to that new interpretation.
Register for this summer's Masters of the Tarot Conference in Rhineback, New York, hosted by Mary Kay Greer and Rachel Pollack. For more information, check out mastersofthetarot.com. Links in the video description box.